I get it. Nobody wants to rock the boat. It can be hard to be honest when we know that somebody could get hurt. It can seem a lot easier to just put on a smile and carry on like nothing is wrong. But at what expense? Hi folks, I'm Tia, licensed therapist at Roots Relational Therapy. I make videos that offer tips and tricks on how to improve your relationship with yourself and other people. Today, we're going to be talking about emotional coddling, what it is, why it's bad, and what to do instead. You may be a coddler if you deny or avoid difficult conversations. You experience this growing resentment that goes totally unaddressed. You typically hold back or censor your message. Rather than being honest about what you think or how you feel, you prefer to keep it to yourself so that somebody else doesn't get mad. You take on unnecessary stress in order to lighten someone else's load. When you censor yourself in order to coddle them, you're treating them as though they're fragile, as if they would break or run away or short circuit if they knew the truth. You grin and bear it to their face and then complain to somebody else about it later. Now, being considerate of your listener and deliberate with your delivery is very different from emotional coddling. Being considerate is knowing your audience and communicating in a way that makes sense based on who they are and what your relationship with them is like. While you're mindful of how they might not take what you want to say very well, that doesn't stop you from being honest with them. Let's consider a few familiar coddling scenarios, like telling your parents or caregivers that what they think is best for you isn't what you think is best for you, or being honest with a friend about how they've wronged you, or dropping a truth bomb on somebody that really needs to hear it but won't like it. They have certain expectations and a vision of what they think is right, but it doesn't quite align with yours. Even if you don't have your own vision, you know that theirs just doesn't feel right. You feel annoyed, frustrated, terrified, and invalidated, and sometimes just straight up furious. Just going through the motions with a fake smile and clenched fists isn't sustainable. But you also don't want to damage the relationship. What should you do? Honesty, honesty, honesty. Take a risk and be honest. Being honest shows respect to yourself and to your listener. It's disrespectful to you when you allow this discomfort to continue and you suffer in silence. And it's disrespectful to the other person when you aren't telling them the full story. You're holding back the truth from them and they don't really know where you stand. I get it. There are definitely people and situations where we can't always be direct or fully honest with, and definitely situations where it's either unsafe or unwise to do so. But if you're honest with yourself, do you notice that you tend to cater to people's emotions more than you really need to? Recovering people pleasers, listen up. You aren't being considerate. You're being controlling. There's a part of you that doesn't feel comfortable with allowing other people to experience discomfort while around you. Come on. Kitties. Or maybe you don't feel comfortable allowing others to see you in a light that's different from your pre-curated version of how you want to be seen by other people. The person who's amiable and friendly and always polite and always says yes. Here's the thing. It's not a real connection when you're constantly accommodating to how the other person feels. A relationship requires at least two people with their own experience who choose to share it with each other. Maybe the problem is that you don't trust yourself to be able to handle the potential fallout if things aren't taken right. Whether they cry or get upset or get defensive, that's not a sign that you're doing anything wrong. You're allowed to speak your truth even if the other person doesn't like it. It means that you care about the relationship so much that you're willing to talk through the hard stuff in order to keep the relationship going. It's not your job to protect people from having an emotional experience. It's your job to communicate in a way that is clear, honest and kind. Maybe they really needed to hear what you had to say. Maybe they totally understand and are so happy that you told them the truth. You felt comfortable bringing it to them. No matter what happens, it's not a real relationship unless you're being real with them. And real connections are made by being real. Still hesitant? Here's 5 reasons why you should not coddle other people's emotions. They never learn how to maintain a real relationship with somebody. They are ever anxious because they're so used to people soothing and overprotecting them. They feel entitled for people to be accommodating to them because that's what they've come to expect. They develop a low self-esteem because they haven't had the opportunity to practice doing hard things on their own. They can't understand or respect other people's boundaries, and they often get confused and scared by them. They take it as rejection. People need the space to experience the full spectrum of their emotions. It's a part of life, and it's good for them. Emotions teach us important lessons about ourselves as people and our relationships with others. They tell us what's okay with us and what's not. Emotional coddling blocks this important learning opportunity, and it is not your place, and you certainly aren't doing them any favors. Furthermore, your emotional reaction to this situation is valuable information for you. Don't ignore it. Still hesitant to say what you need to say? The good news is you don't have to get it right the first time. See my video on how to apologize so that you can feel prepared in case they don't take it the way you were hoping they would. Even if the really hits the fan and an apology won't cover it, you'll know how they really feel, and they'll know how you really feel. That's a win. This is your chance to live more authentically, even if it's uncomfortable at first. If you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend. Click like, subscribe, and make sure you turn on the notifications so you never miss tips from a therapist. If you're looking for a place to learn why you became an emotional coddler and how to navigate difficult conversations authentically, therapy is a great place to start. Visit my website at rootsrelationaltherapy.com.